Named after our first president, Washington, D.C. is the hub of the American wheel. Political leaders, legislators, lobbyists, diplomats, and Supreme Court justices are all situated in the city's 68 square mile footprint. With Maryland to the north and Virginia to the south, D.C. is in the heart of the Mid-Atlantic region. The Potomac River and Washington Channel provide views of some of the country's most iconic landmarks.
Right now, we're currently on the Washington Channel, one of the 3 bodies of water here in D.C. And behind us, we have the wharf. So this was recently developed, beautiful development by Hoffman Development Company, $3 billion restoration of D.C.'s waterfront. Washington, D.C., this has been the home of all the commerce and boating. So we're here starting today, and our backdrop is the beautiful wharf. We're going north to south here, and this is about a 2-mile body of water, man-made in the 1800s.
Washington, D.C. became our nation's capital in 1800, taking over the mantle from Philadelphia. Today, it's the school field trip capital of the United States. The Lincoln Memorial, Washington Monument, Jefferson Memorial, and U.S. Capitol are among the city's most visited and photographed sites. Washington may have famously crossed the Delaware, but we're crossing the Washington Channel in the Aviara AV36, outfitted with triple Mercury Verados. The slick helm, sleek T-top, and broad beam make for a stylish but stout luxury day boat.
We're headed north to the top of the Washington Channel. So this was man-made. This was designed to allow for the water to be controlled out of D.C. To starboard here, you see a picturesque view of the Jefferson Memorial over the tidal floodgate. So the tidal basin here, man-made, and the 2 floodgates we have, one at the Washington Channel, and this is the 2nd floodgate, and they manage that tidal basin and that water flow on a daily basis. From here you have Jefferson, and just north of it, the Washington Monument. Next stop on our Discover DC mission here, we have the Pentagon. Commonly seeing helicopters coming and going, dropping off all the people that we need to keep this country moving. Cruising along the upper Potomac, we're approaching Watergate Hotel Complex, historically where everything went down with Nixon. Just south of that, behind me, we have the Kennedy Center. John F. Kennedy was a big advocate for the arts and performing arts. And then just north of Watergate here, we have the Georgetown waterfront. Along the way from D.C., headed south, we have the historic waterfront of Alexandria. You can come ashore or just cruise by. We have dining, shops, as you see, one of the oldest ports here. On the older end, historical reenactments, all the way to brand new restaurants dockside that you can come by boat. Right here off starboard side, we have Fort Washington, oldest fort in Washington, D.C., designed by George Washington himself as the last defense for our nation's capital. So spending all day on the water is a fantastic way to see D.C., but the true secret here in our nation's capital is to come out here at night. But as you cruise up the Potomac River, you have the national landmarks. Here the Lincoln with the Washington Monument behind it. It's my favorite time to be on the water. And we have full moon, blue moon, cruising north up the Anacostia River and coming upon the Frederick Douglass Bridge here, views of the Capitol, National Stadium, MLS, Audi Field, Soccer Stadium, and another recently developed area known as the Yards, which is in reference to the Navy base here in the Navy Yard.
Stars and stripes, sights and scenes. a storied history that reaches from sea to shining sea. People from around the world come to experience Washington, D.C., but few get the VIP view from the water.
DC, whether it's your first time or you've lived here your entire life, every time you come in the water, you get something unique, from the sunrise to the sunset to the view of the monuments. DC by water, come down and see it for yourself.